This is what I have so far, but hold on, just one second. If you could pull out your phone, if you have it, just text one of these numbers right on the side by the 521 to this number, 22333, so I can get a little more data just to see how everyone else in the room feels about it.
The maintenance is wrong.
Alright, well, as this keeps going, you guys can keep going, but when I originally posted this, I only had like 5 people respond, and one of them was me, and pretty much my family. We all did 5s, because we're such a musical family. But I'm glad to see that I have more data, so it's a little more, I guess, even, I guess you could say. But that just got me like a baseline to see how everyone else that I like, people I don't normally associate with, consider music. So then after that, here's my anchor text. It's very small, but I find it really powerful. Quote, "Without music, life would be an error." And I feel like that's how most people should feel. Just like, what I like to do sometimes is, say you're watching Star Wars, and when they're like flying around in space, sometimes I remember that there's no sound in space, so I'll mute it, just to see like, it'll just be images of firing. And then they got me thinking, well, say, for example, your favorite movie, it probably has a song that you can associate with it, and if it didn't have that song, it'd probably be a completely different movie. Or just like, for even when kids learn, like Blue's Clues, you got the Blue's Clues song. If that wasn't there, it'd probably just be a really uneventful show, and it just wouldn't hold people's attention. So I thought that'd be just a really great quote to use in the project. And then next, this was what I meant to do with the community. What I planned on doing was going to Ganyard School and just for a part of the day working with students in music class and just like having fun with them and just showing them to be creative and not to like worry about what other people will say about how they perform with their music. So I just wanted, this is the times that I could pick, and I wasn't really expecting as much as detail that I had to go into, since I haven't taught class, but I remembered I have to like make a lesson plan and find times and find people to help me and get materials that I needed. So that was a surprise. And the next, this is a quote from my dad. I interviewed him. One of the questions I asked was, how has music helped you? He said, well, basically, music has helped him pay bills for 31 years. He's been a musician basically his whole life. Loves it. Couldn't imagine life without it. So music to me is basically, if music didn't exist, I wouldn't be the person that I am. I'm a really shy person, but if music didn't exist, I probably wouldn't talk to anyone. I wouldn't have similarities with people to just converse about. Music to me is basically just my life. My name is Lennon, named after John Lennon. My name is kind of music to me, so music is everything to me. So then I asked a bunch of other people, my friends, family, questions about music. I asked like a total of 10, but I picked the 2 most important questions that I found. And some of the video won't work, I'm not sure why, but I can pause it and tell you what they say, and they'll have really funny facial expressions, or it'll just be a blank screen, but I'll fill you in for what they say.
I'm a very much more bland person. I think I'd be bored quite a bit.
The way my mind works, I'd probably try to find something else to do, but it probably wouldn't work out as well.
I would be completely different. I initially went to college to be a music theater major, so if music didn't exist, I wouldn't have even chosen that path. As far as performing in general, I started out singing on stage in bars with my dad since I was 5. So if music didn't exist, I don't think that he and I would have had the relationship that we do today. And I don't think that I would be nearly as creative or open-minded or accepting of other cultures if it weren't for music. And I think that I would feel like
dead. Yeah, I'd probably be still playing Yu-Gi-Oh cards or something.
I'd probably be a boring person because I don't do anything but listen to music and dance. That's why I'm probably so open, because I'm not shy to dance and inspire people to watch me dance.
Doll.
I'd be Joe Blow, just sitting and playing video games or something like that. I wouldn't be doing anything. I wouldn't be as outgoing. I mean, man, I'd be a nobody. Like, that's who you are as a person. Like, what you listen to, you know, you feel good about yourself listening to. I wouldn't be as happy as I am, I guess.
I would be probably a lot different. Because music means so much to me right now. So I don't know how I would be different. I would probably be some athlete, you know, because I don't really like working for too many other people. So I'd probably be some type of an athlete, or if I didn't make the grade to be an athlete, if I wasn't good enough, maybe it'd be from one extreme to the other. I'd be a gardener.
I'd be boring as hell. Excuse my language, but there's no other way for me to say it. I would be boring. Everyone would be boring if they didn't have music to influence them. You can't go through life without having your personality affected by music. Entire cultures have grown out of movements like, look at hip-hop. People put their lives around that kind of community, and there are kids who have not experienced things that people rapping in the songs have, but they still model their lives after them. Without music, civilization would crumble. There would be nothing.
As cheesy as it is, I suppose music is art. It's inspiration. It really gives you a medium to portray ideas in a way that's not, it's more abstract than simply speaking them, you know?
Music is a universal language. Everyone loves some form of music, and it kind of brings people together in a sense of community and love, or it can express a feeling anyone human is feeling, no matter what emotion it is. If they listen to the right song, it moves them, it helps them release their energy. So it's everything.
Music means family first, friends, and then since that, music is everything to me. It involves everything I do in everyday life. I think about it all the time. I can't stop thinking about it.
It means peace, love for me, because it soothes my soul, and I'm quite sure it soothes a lot of other people's souls. It's universal. You don't even need to speak the language, and you can listen to it still. Get it through going.
Again, your kids. Hasn't really happened yet, because I was supposed to do it today, but it would have had to be now. So I decided to do this, but I recontacted her, and I set up a plan to come back when I'm done with school after this week, so I can have more time on my free time instead of just having to find time in between classes or school. So before I came down here, I got you a message from her saying when they get out and when I'll be able to come back and do stuff with them. So I'm pretty excited to just have kids find something that they can enjoy and have fun with.